Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for a brand new Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today we're going to be having a look at the first of 4 brand new Star Wars The Black Series figures from the brand new Disney Plus series Maul Shadow Lord. I've managed to get my hands on these a little bit early, so I'm going to be giving you in-depth reviews one at a time, starting today with Rook Kast. So without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging that she comes in, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure itself. So taking a look at the packaging, you guys know the drill by now. This is the standard box style that we've seen over the last few years in the Black Series. We've got a red colour accent in the box this time. It says Maul Shadow Lord across the bottom of the packaging with the character name and number in the bottom right hand corner. We've got the mural artwork on the side of the box, which we all expect these days. Very nice. That is then repeated on the back of the box, and this time instead of a character description we've just got a very basic write-up, a brief summary if you will, about the Maul Shadow Lord series. So we'll take a look at the figure itself now, starting off with details as always. I want to talk about that head sculpt first of all. Those of you familiar with Rook Kast from the Clone Wars will know she's quite a menacing looking character, very sinister, she's got quite a scowl to her. Now, of course, this is a realistic interpretation of that animated character, so by all means it's not going to be exact, because it's got to fit in with 10 years worth of action figures. A small gripe, first of all, I think the head sculpt could have had a little more expression to it, just to look a little more sinister. This is Maul's lieutenant that we're looking at after all, and it just looks a little bit basic, perhaps even a little nice. However, it's just a small complaint that I've got. It's very much a personal preference thing, and I'm sure it's not going to detract from the overall figure for some of you guys out there. The hair is a very nice colour of purple, and the eyes have got some particularly good shading, and the dark red of the lips really contrasts well with the overall colour of her armour. So I'll bring her in closer now so you can take a nicer look at what's on offer. Again, head sculpt's very nice. We've got this dark red colour which runs across the entirety of the figure. That's her main armour colour. She does have these symbols on the shoulder pads which are really cool. This is the same armour design that we see her have in the Clone Wars, although for the Maul Shadow Lord series it seems like they've gone for a more remnant, dulled down approach if you will, as they've removed the bright red accents and yellow highlights, which you'll be able to see a little bit later on when we look at the character's helmet. We've got a different logo on this shoulder pad, and then we've got the details of the Mandalorian van braces. Very similar to Mando's whistling birds there. And then we've got a few little buttons highlighted on this side. Abdomen section is very basic, but it's very accurate to the source material. And then we've got this really nice sculpted piece of plastic for the waist cape or waist armour sections, I suppose. Lots of really cool sculpted detail, different textures, as you can see with those more recessed black parts there compared to the more maroon overlay itself. Basic undersuit detailing for the legs. Then we've got the knee pads. Knee pads are free floating, so are the shoulder pads. I forgot to mention that a minute ago. And then we've got shin guards over basic black boots. So I want to take a look at the back of the figure now, so that you can see a jetpack. It's very small, very accurate, picked out with some nice paint applications. This is fixed to the figure's back, it's not actually removable, but I'm fine with that honestly, as I feel like it might be a little bit troublesome if that were made removable, and it could move around a fair bit, but this is stuck in place and as a result is nice and sturdy. I've just taken the liberty to swap out the head sculpt with the helmet now. It's not a removable helmet on this figure, it's an interchangeable sculpt, similar to what we got with the Stranger. As you can see, the helmet is a very unique and specific to this character design, and as a result the cheeks on it are very narrow, and I don't think Hasbro would have been able to achieve an accurate finish whilst also having it be removable. Whether you're for or against interchangeable helmets for your Black Series figures, I think this is overall the best decision Hasbro could have made, and I'm very happy that that's the road they went down with this one. I'm all for interchangeable helmets over removable helmets, as I feel like, once again, they add another layer of accuracy, and they are just considerably more proportionate than the oversized removable helmets we've come to see over the last 5 years in the line. Now, I didn't swap it on camera, as you do have to put a little bit of force into it, but you can see there the neck post remains the same, and due to the way that the helmet's been sculpted, it does cover up the flesh part of the neck when on display, so you can't actually see that, which is fantastic. It's very well engineered, and it's a really nice attention to detail from the folks at Hasbro. Really love to see that. And as you can see, the details on the helmet correspond nicely with the rest of the armour. A lot of details that invoke the different tattoos and different designs associated with Maul, especially at this point in time as he's ruling over the crime syndicates. It's really cool to see, and as I mentioned, the visor on this helmet is black instead of the iconic yellow visor from the Clone Wars. That is a little bit of a shame, but it is accurate to this version of the character from the Maul Shadow Lord series, and as I previously mentioned in the video, the armour itself is more or less a carryover from the Clone Wars. Now, I'm not advocating for an immediate reissue of this, but I know a lot of people out there would love to get a Black Series Gar Saxon to go with this, so maybe later down the line we could get a 2-pack, Rook Kast, Gar Saxon, repaint this figure in the Siege of Mandalore colours, and that way everybody's happy. So other than the helmet, Rook includes 2 Mandalorian style blaster pistols, and upon first glance I thought these were reused, but they're actually a new sculpt. They have been painted really nicely, I might add. I think the base sculpt of the blaster is done in black plastic, and then it's been accented with gunmetal across the barrel, as well as these really cool red glyphs, again factoring into the whole Maul Mandalorian culture. Really cool to see. And if you can just make out on the handle there is a small peg on the blaster. Now, traditional to Rook's design, she doesn't have holsters, but instead what we've got are these very small little holes on the side of the waist. So if we take one of the blasters, it does just securely peg in to the side to give you that holstered look from the animated series, which is really, really cool. That can be done with both blasters on either side. Now, they are somewhat secure, but when you're posing the figure around, they may fall off at times. So I would recommend dialing your pose in first, and then setting your blasters up either in the hands or holstered on the waist. Just running over articulation very quickly for those that are interested. As you've already seen, because of the interchangeable head, that's on a ball joint. It's a ball joint in the top of the head, as well as the neck and the base of the neck as well. And that's what we've come to expect on more modern Black Series figures, so that's really nice to see continuing. We've got bull hinge shoulders. The shoulder pads are on the separate O-ring system. There's lots of nice movement there. I believe there's a butterfly joint in there too. We've got hinge and swivel at the elbow. The wrists on this one are on the new ball joints, so roly-poly wrists, that's always a win in my book. Ball joint at the base of the torso there, quite a nice range. And then we've got ball joints at the hips. The range is restricted by the waist piece, and with this being a new sculpt figure, there are no thigh swivels there, and the side to side at the hip seems a little more limited than recent figures we've taken a look at on the channel. There is also a hinge and swivel at the knee. Can be a little bit stiff fresh out of the box, of course. Knee pads will move to get out of the way of that. And then we've also got the hinged ankles with the side-to-side pivot. And I do also believe the gauntlets are also on a swivel as well. So up-to-date modern articulation. Nothing out of the ordinary, but that is by no means a detriment to the figure. Fantastic stuff, great to see. And just to give you an idea of size really quickly, here is the helmet next to the head sculpt. As you can see, if this was removable, then this would be rather oversized. So once again, just to reiterate my previous points, this is definitely a good move for Hasbro, and in my opinion, it's the way forward for characters that have got helmets. So just wrapping up on Rook Kast, another very worthy addition to the Black Series. This character has dawned wish lists far and wide for the last few years, so it's great to see her finally added to the line, and I'm sure a lot of collectors are going to be very happy to pick this one up in a few months when she releases. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Thanks for your continued support. Subscribe if you haven't already. 70% of you guys aren't subscribed, so click that button below. Head over to Instagram and follow me there. At the time of this video going live, there's going to be a full HD gallery for this figure that you'll be able to have a look at. Thanks once again. I'll catch you in the next video. May the force be with you always.